Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today is episode number, I want to say number 6 of the British game that I'm currently playing. If you do like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications when you do subscribe so you never miss another upload from me on this channel. Right, this is officially day 2 of December. Some people who vlog December call it Vlogmas. I'm obviously not, because it's a gaming channel, not vlogs, so, well, fun. But you get the point. It is sort of December and Christmas time now, and I am doing 2 channels, daily videos, so, it's gone so far so well. Could obviously fail miserably, but, who knows. Also, previous issue that I'm going to bring back up today is that previously I've had an issue with my mouse. That should be fixed. Now don't fall back on that when it breaks, because it probably will. But I had a little go with it. I moved it, because it's a wireless mouse, I've moved the sort of dongle thing around and it should be working a little bit better now. Now that's not to say my PC is going to work any better at all. The game could still crash any minute. I'd rather it crash 25 minutes in than 5, but we'll see. It could do anything at any point because it just is not fully fixed yet. I mean, I still have to take it to a local PC repair shop and get it fixed because it needs more space on it. It needs possibly a graphics card would be quite nice. I mean, it's not necessary, but it'd be nice to have. It also needs its processing power to be doubled or tripled because it doesn't have much. Obviously storage, big thing, because I film videos and I need to store them on it. Should probably also get a massive, I'm gonna say like this massive plug-in thing that you can store things on. It would be useful, but these are all future projects in as much as themselves. But what isn't a future project is trying to take out France. You see, that is a project we're very much currently in the process of doing, as is important to do so. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember where we were in the last episode. Oh yes, we got a new king. Yep, okay. I'm there now. Okay, all good. So effectively, we take out France here. Once we take out France, we then, well, I'd say annex France, to be fair, and then build a bunch of railways. Once the railways are built, you'll have resources as well and build up a navy. Maybe take out Greece would be quite nice, but it's to be seen what we get on with there, how we get on with it. I mean, it depends also how quickly some of these nations surrender, because if France takes us until June or July of 1938, then it's like, well, you got to push some things back to maybe next episode that you'd have done otherwise in this episode. So it really does overall depend on how quickly things do occur and happen, and that relies at the end of the day on the game and its sort of speed that it wants to run at. So we just rely on that, and that one's at control at the end of the day, so can't do much that the game doesn't want to do, but we will try and do as much as we can. But we should have France finished off soon, I would imagine. I'd hope so anyway, because they don't, normally they surrender pretty quickly. I remember historically they don't last too long. I reckon if we push up here and we tank Calais, or we just encircle Calais, I reckon that sort of pocket will do it for us, and we should be able to win off that. If not, then we go down to Brittany or somewhere like that and take the rest of that. I mean, also, I think taking someone like Metz might also be a good idea. Orleans is also a good one. Tours, Lyon, Marseille, all these sort of big cities. I reckon if we take one, maybe two of them, and some more territory, I reckon we'll be fine. I definitely think taking Le Havre here should definitely throw the line towards our favour. I reckon we take that and take a bit more territory heading towards Lille and then Calais. I reckon they'll surrender. I really do not think they'll put up much of a fight after that. Because it would be sort of daft to do so, for them to put up a fight. But, oh well, you never know. Countries do weird things all the time, so what's it not to happen in this game? Right, I'm sure we'll get up. Yeah, we're pretty much bordering some of the key territories here that would give us effectively the win, which is interesting. So we'll go and see if we can try and take Metz here. I mean, if they have troops guarding it, then they have troops guarding it, but we'll have a go anyway. Yeah, they do. Oh yeah, I thought so. We might try and break through it with just sheer manpower. We'll see if we can push up to Calais here, because I reckon if we take Calais, that'll be it for France. So we'll see if we can close that pocket. I reckon we probably will be able to do so, because, we're already established, as in we've built up a front line, we've got supply lines now into the territory that we hold in France. So effectively, trying to advance up into somewhere like Lille or Calais shouldn't be as hard as it might have been, because, if we've got no supply and we're not embedded into the country already, then it's going to be a bit of a task. But because we're already in, we've got a lot of territory, and we've got, the supply capital or supply hub in Paris. We're already on a starting point where we can launch off of that and start to take over someone like Calais pretty quickly. Because, in Hearts of Iron, main thing is supply. You need to have supply for your divisions to actually be able to operate and continue offensive. That's one of the reasons I focused on Paris pretty quickly, was because it is obviously their supply capital, and if I can take that, I can advance quicker into the territory, which I did. And here you go. We're going to have a lot of territory to take here, and by a lot I mean it's just an unnecessary amount. What we're going to do here is look at all the resources we can possibly take, which Turkey has a lot of them, hence we're going to just take all of Turkey here and integrate it into our empire. We're also going to take all of the navy of the four nations shown there, or we would like to do so, but apparently I'm not able to. I will take the Romanian navy, definitely take the Turkish one, because Turkey is going to cease to exist as a nation, so we will take their navy so it doesn't get scuttled, and then we'll take the Yugoslavian one as well. Now we get to go back to taking actual territory here. I think one of the key things, let's not focus on Europe so much at the second. We obviously only have a few puppets left, so we'll take the Emirate of Transjordan and give them this little bit of territory here, and then we'll take our other puppet nation in the region and give them Lebanon. That way effectively taking Lebanon over and making sure they won't be a threat, then taking out this and that, hopefully making the border look a little bit nicer, and then we'll sweep the rest of it like so. So that looks pretty good border wise now, shouldn't look too bad. And obviously we as an empire have now expanded gigantically. We'll then see if we can take the entirety of the French Navy here, which we should be able to take, give or take some. There you go. And now we will take physically as much as we can here, because, we'll take what we can get our hands on, which will be the entirety of Yugoslavia, and I'd love to take Romania as well. we can sort of start to take bit by bit here. We'll obviously push towards Bulgaria as well in this episode, simply for the fact that if we can take Bulgaria, we can simply have majority of the Balkans under our control, which would be really nice for us to have. So we'll take the rest of Romania here. We'll then have a look at Czechoslovakia. We'll take all of that. Then we'll have a look at France. France we should be able to take in the next turnover. If not, we just go again and just select it all. I know Portugal wants territory in Guinea, but we're not going to give that to them. We're just simply going to take all of France, no matter if they decide to claim it for themselves. It will be ours at the end of the day. Okay, they're just demanding Guinea at this point, but we'll demand it off of them. And give or take some, we should win this debate over who gets the territory pretty quickly here. Now obviously I would like to go into our Albania. Yeah, Albania here. However, it is protected very heavily by Italy, and I don't see myself wanting to go to war with Italy at this current second. We will have to do so. I would just like to put it off as much as physically possible for the current second, if at all possible. The problem we've got here is Portugal has got quite a lot of points and we've beaten them outright. Nice. So effectively we've just taken everything, because that is the British way of doing things apparently, is you literally just go in and you take everything. So yeah, why not? So there we go, we have now got a massive new kingdom, because that makes total sense. Which means we've now got an abnormal amount of resources. I bet you it's still not enough resources, but there we go. Let's do a bunch of this so that we can boost support. Places there, they've capitulated, but that's not much of an issue for us. Here, there's going to be a lot of production of coal and oil, but there's not much of steel, which I'm not happy about, because I obviously need a lot more of it to build the amount of naval ships at the speed I want to build them at. Oh, there is, yes, steel mills. So we got 2 steel mill expansions here in Turkey, which obviously I'm going to take, and then chromium as well. Nice. Oil obviously is helpful for, you know, moving troops and stuff, so I will do that as well, as much as I can, but we'll see how that goes. Obviously here I would like to do some Ethiopian things, just to keep that working away in the background. Then we will do ban democratic parties here, allowing us to further bolster control in the territory we own. And then we'll just do a bunch of these prospect for resources decisions, and that should be good enough for the minute and should take us through, just for now, all that we own, hopefully. Also here we are going to dismantle the Maginot Line, and we're also going to dismantle the Czechoslovakian forts, and then we'll do a bunch of military parades in different territories, just because why not. And here we'll then have a look at Bulgaria here, because I feel it's quite important. However, we have got an option here to go potentially to war with Belgium or Luxembourg or Switzerland or Italy, as we see fit here. We could even go Germany if we were so inclined to do so. However, I don't think we're going to do any of them. I mean, Italy's got a lot of resources, to be fair. I think for now we'll avoid doing another main European war, unless your name is Ireland, and then, well, it's inevitable. So that is exactly what our next option is going to be, and that is going straight into Ireland. So yeah, we're going to head straight into Ireland here and try and take that back if possible. We'll have to do Reclaim the Empire here, so we'll get that done in the background. I'm half tempted to go to war with another European nation. I just want to check who's got the most resources at borders. Ideally France, or the former French territory. I mean, Belgium is not bad at all, I want to say. Belgium has got a lot of resources that could be useful to us. I mean, Germany's got an unusual amount. Netherlands has got a little bit. It's not the most in the world. Ireland's got a little bit. Italy's got a lot. So Italy wouldn't be a bad idea, because also if I take out Italy, I can then go and take out Albania, and it connects two parts of the empire, which isn't a bad option. I mean, Greece is great to take out as well. Bulgaria probably will be. Austria is. Hungary will be. You know, Czechoslovakia was great gains, so was Yugoslavia and Romania. They were great victories there for us. I mean, I think once Spain has calmed down a little bit, we'll probably go in Spain and take some of their resources, simply because of why not. I mean, I'm thinking Italy's probably a good shout here. Belgium is also a good shout. I think Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Italy is the answer of what we're about to do. So with that in mind, let us begin the chaos. And I mean chaos because it probably will be quite chaotic, but it'll also be quite interesting at the same time. So we'll have a little crack at it here and see how this goes. And hopefully it goes well. So we'll get all the troops to Belgium as quickly as we can, because obviously they have taken away our guarantee of them. And obviously, seeing as France no longer exists, they can't guarantee them either. So, from a point of guaranteeing peace, maybe war is necessary. And we get their Belgian-Congo ally. We get a little bit of expansionism into some more colonies here. That's quite good. So effectively, you know, the fact they've got Congo under their control, which they'll call in, because they generally do, we'll get that in a peace deal. We'll get them in a peace deal. Arguably it's worthwhile, just simply for territory and mass alone, because I think at this point there's a new goal on the table, which is uniting Africa, because I simply don't see why not. It's a fun side goal or side quest, and I quite simply don't see why not to do it. So I think quite simply the answer is we are going to do it, just for a bit of a laugh. And I mean, that just seems quite funny. So, yeah, it should work out well. The Netherlands has got naval dominance in the English Channel. Most interesting. Luckily, I've got the British Navy, and the French Navy, and the Turkish, and the... You get the point. I'm not even going to name every single country I've ever taken in this game, but just trust me, I have a massive navy. Their navy ain't scaring me much. It's scaring me a tiny bit, because I'm scared of how many ships I'm about to sink if I put my navy out. So I'll keep my navy in port, but if they do start blowing up my convoys, then, well, they better hope that they don't come face to face with one of my ships, because I will be putting them out. Just do this, and that way we get a nice war goal against Ireland, which means we can officially take all the British Isles to be under our control, which obviously is a really good goal to have. Especially if we want to form Rome, we need to just take a bunch of territory here, and just live with taking it. Apparently, Belgian Congo hasn't joined here. Irritating, but what can you do? The answer is simply just take what you can and continue on without a bit more of Belgian Congo, which I can take later as independent Congo. But yeah, Belgium is now under our control. And now we'll push into the Netherlands, and then we'll push back down to Luxembourg, effectively uniting a single border with Germany, which obviously will be good for us. We'll sell Portugal some ships because they're neutral or favouring to us. In terms of global politics, they are definitely on our side. So we'll do that definitely. Move into the Netherlands here. Once we finish the Netherlands, we can then have a bit of fun going to Luxembourg at breakneck speed for no apparent reason. Because, you know, that's what you do on an average Tuesday. Anyway, we will begin advancing as quickly as possible here. Obviously they have put their ships out, but I really do not think they're going to last long enough for their ships to actually do anything. Because we're moving forward at a quick pace here and have just taken Rotterdam, which means they only have one remaining port in the English Channel, which I can definitely assure people it's not going to last more than May of 1938. Like, the speed we're pushing up at, it should fall pretty much in the next few in-game days. So not a threat. But yeah, we've also got the Dutch East Indies that have joined here. Now I think what we're going to do here is we're going to take the Dutch East Indies and we're going to split them between, well, I was going to say Australia and British Malaya, but unfortunately we no longer control Australia, so the answer is me and British Malaya, because it has to be split. So I'm just going to take a split of it, because why not? In fact, I might just take it all, to be fair, because I am planning on annexing all of my dominions or puppets or whatever, so it might just be worthwhile just straight out taking both of it, which is what I'm going to do with the Netherlands, is just take it. And there you go, I'll take all of the Dutch East Indies as well, because why not? So that should all come across to the Empire now. This is about to become one massive, great, humongous empire, which is going to span across Europe and the Middle East and Africa and Asia and wherever else I choose to bring it. We'll take out Luxembourg here, so we can have the true amount of the lowlands here, or the Benelux, who I am speaking to is what it is. Now we'll take this out here, we'll go towards Luxembourg, and then that will be another neutral nation out of my way that Germany cannot physically attack, because they won't exist and they'll be British, and if Germany attacks Britain, I'll attack them back and I'll take them. So we're doing good here. We just need to finish off the last few bits of Luxembourg here, and then we can hopefully move on to possibly Switzerland and then Austria. And once Switzerland and Austria are done, we might take out Italy, or we'll do it vice versa. By the way, we're going to do it the other way around. It's going to be Italy, then the other two. And the simple reason for that is, if we were to take out Italy now, it gives us a better option to take out Switzerland in a minute. Otherwise, we've got to take out Switzerland, Austria, and have about 20 different Italian front lines. And I'm not having 20 different Italian front lines. I'm just not doing that. So that's why we'll do it the other way around. Luxembourg is now under our control, which is good to see. It is now surrendered. So that's either more territory under our occupation or in the Empire. And now effectively we'll just take out Italy here. Once Italy is surrendered, it will connect ourselves from France to Yugoslavia, down through Turkey, and down and into where we want to get to. I mean, in fact, Bulgaria will probably be in the way, so it'll be effectively trying to connect France through to Yugoslavia, Romania and Czechoslovakia. Once those two fronts are connected, it will then be connecting the main European front to the Middle Eastern front into the African front. So yeah, bit of expansion necessary, but we'll get there. Let's go to war with them here, and then hopefully should be able to take them out pretty quickly here. Obviously we're aware Italy will advance into Yugoslavia very quickly here, and we won't be able to exactly stop them, but luckily that doesn't matter too much because that's not going to be our main focus of attack. Our main focus of attack is going to be through Genova, Milano, and then up through Venezia, and then we'll slowly cut them off from behind and starve them with supply, or at least that is the plan anyway. We will do this one here, which will allow us to start imperial civil wars in different nations, which will be useful for us obviously with our ex-dominions who decide that they don't really like us much anymore. We ideally should be moving a bit quicker up here towards Italy. Not quite happy with the speed we're moving at. It's slow-ish, and I think we should be a bit quicker than that, a bit more pace to the offensive. So we need to speed up a little bit, which we are slowly getting. We're actually attacking into Genova here, so that's not horrible. I mean, it's not where I want to be. I want to be in Milan right now, but we're obviously not in Milan. We're possibly almost about to be in Genova, but we need to go a bit quicker. We need to speed up a little bit, because if we don't, we run a risk of them capturing Belgrade before we can get to Venezia and start to properly get down towards Rome, Napoli, all that lovely stuff that will mean their surrender. Which luckily we're only a little bit off Milan now, which is honestly really good. And they're slowed down and they've advanced towards Belgrade. They're still advancing a bit at a time, but they're not going as much as they used to. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm expecting Belgrade to fall. I'm not, expecting to keep it. I'm just anticipating that we'll hopefully have them split in two before they can get into Belgrade. Because if they get into Belgrade and they're still able to connect to their capital as one combined nation, then we're seriously in a bad position. Because it means they've still got access to their supply capital via land, and I do not want them to have that. But via sea is a different matter, and they're going to have that anyway. But via land is something I can avoid, and I want to avoid it, and I'm not going to here, because they've literally probably taken it now. Yeah, they have. Okay, so we're behind schedule by a long way. Okay. I'm hoping either Portugal or the Raj is going to go over and stop them from taking any more territory into someone like Romania or whatever. I do hope they will, but we'll see. Otherwise we'll do it ourselves. We're not doing too badly necessarily on the front lines here. I mean, for what we're trying to achieve, we're not doing badly at all, to be fair. But it's just they're achieving more than us, and luckily none of the territory they're taking is our core, which is obviously really good. But there's also a reminder of they're still gaining territory that we held, so they'll still be gaining some points in the war, which I can't have them have. Because if they get points, then that means I have to take more territory because their war support goes up, their surrender progress will go slightly down, and I just can't have that. So I need to basically push forward. Oh yeah, and I forgot about African territory. They've taken Cairo. This is not good for us at this point. Well, luckily we have basically almost split them in half here, which is good. Multiple times over. And as soon as we actively split them in half, they will run out of supply, and we will basically guarantee ourselves the win here. Because realistically, it's a matter of supply. This is simply a war of attrition and supply here, and if we win this war, then we're in a good position. We'll push down to see if we can take Belgrade back here. Hopefully we should be able to, and obviously our advance will continue towards Rome as well. Give or take, actually taking Rome in a moment here. Do all of them. Now we'll see whether we can do the Imperial Loyalists. I want to do the first one in South Africa because that is going to be the priority, and I'll set the others up as well, to be fair, just that they're all going on the background. And as a focus, I'll do the one where I can effectively allow them to be ours. There you go, we have Rome now, which is obviously a massive victory for us, and obviously it's really good at the same time. Right, so now we should still be advancing towards Napoli here. Obviously we will not get to Napoli because the front line does not sort of have that in its zone, but you know, because Rome has now surrendered, or yeah, Rome has now surrendered. The city of Rome is now under our capture. It should mean that we should be able to begin a bit more of the campaign down towards someone like Taranto and Napoli in order to properly cement the fact that Italy is about to become in entirety part of the British Empire. And I mean, that's not a bad thing. The British Empire is growing at a major rate here, which is good to see. But, you know, it's just a matter of how long until they surrender at this point. We might actually take Napoli here in a moment, because we're about to be on the border of it, which should be quite interesting. We'll see if we can actually take it here, or whether we can't. Oh, we might be able to. If we put a couple more troops on it, we might be able to. Let's turn some lights on so I can actually see what I'm doing. The idea is that Italy will probably finish this video out. I'm aware it's currently 33 minutes into this video. I'm hoping for this to finish as quickly as possible here, but it's just a matter of when they decide to surrender, which could be any time from now to 1942. I correct myself, anywhere between now and about 2 in-game months. We now need to push everything forward by about 6 months. So whereas we may have just been, you know, slowly pushing, now we need to rapidly speed up before they have a civil war in Italy, because that will basically end any sort of idea of us having all of Italy under our control. And we'll have to do with some puppet regime, and I just cannot be bothered to do that because it means putting work into it and stuff, and I'm not doing that. So effectively, it's all hands on deck. Let's just push as quickly as we can here into their territory and take everything we physically can, as quickly as we physically can do so. I think that possibly we don't have enough time. I mean, that's a thought. What I was going to say before the newly formed government came in and interrupted me was, I think we can almost do it in a moment. And the answer is yes, we can. So we'll take that back, we'll take that. I mean, we'll probably take all of Italy, to be fair, because they've got a lot of resources that are quite handy to us. And would be nice to obviously own here in a second. We obviously want to take all of the navy here, because that is of importance to us, considering we're trying to expand our navy, and that is the purpose for the invasions. It would be nice to have it as an object under our control. We'll obviously take that there. We need to take a lot of sort of connecting territory here, enough that we can connect the top parts of our empire together, and then we can push down here to take more of territory down further north in Europe. Hoping I'm still going to have some points here to take some other things. We'll take all of their islands here because their islands are obviously going to become ours. Now we need to see how much. Obviously we're not going to gain anything near Ethiopia. We're just not going to do that. It's not even remotely possible at this point. But we would like to claim all of Libya if possible, because it would be nice to have under our control. Have we taken? Yes, we have. Okay. I'm just checking that we can get as much as physically possible here and as much under our control as we can. I would like to take that if possible, which gives us maybe just enough points that we might be able to take that. No. Okay. Can we take this? Also no. That? At this point I'm just trying to take whatever I can. Yeah, we've got as much as we physically can take at this point. We will see if we can demand this, because I just want something. They used to be owned by Italy at this point, and we'll see if we can get it. Hopefully we should be able to. Give or take quite a lot of debates between us and Ethiopia here. I mean, they should really give it to us out of the fact that the only reason they're still a nation is that we gave them a home while they weren't able to have their actual home. And the answer is that they have realised that and given us the territory that we wanted, which is obviously quite nice of them. Obviously that doesn't achieve the main goal we wanted, which was to connect our British Somaliland and then French Somaliland, or what would be now Somaliland, and I forgot the name of the other nation. But yeah, the French and British territories over there that you can see here with the main empire. That would be a nice idea to do, but unfortunately unable to do so at the current second, which isn't ideal. But at least we have got a little bit of territory in Jubaland here, so we're able to have that under our control, which obviously, why is my multiplayer name back? I don't think it showed it. Great. I need to turn that off. I don't know how to turn it off, but I need to turn that off. Or I need to change my account name, because it's for some reason my full name and I don't understand it. No, Hearts of F4 Guy is not my full name. I'm really hoping that doesn't lead me back to my account. My account is on private, so give or take some, it should be okay. Right, so that'll be the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on when you do subscribe to my channel, so you never miss another upload from me. I've fully mucked that one up. Right, let's start again, shall we? Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on when you do subscribe, it's that little bell when you click subscribe. It will then show down, and you select all notifications, so you get all notifications, which means you get notified whenever I post another video, which I currently post daily. So make sure to do that, and also share it to anyone who might enjoy the video. And the next shout out episode is going to be on Friday, so if you want to shout out, type what's the word I'm going to do today? If you want to shout out, type Cairo, like the city Cairo that's just off to the right, in the comments down below, and that'll unlock you a shout out for Friday. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.